To my future wife, Grace, Part 8, Shyness, an open letter. February 22nd, 2024, 11:52 a.m. Dear Grace, I'm shy, or I was shy, or I don't feel shy now, but I may again in the future. Or maybe I'm lazy. It seems like these letters would eventually provide any possible future partner with every detail about my past and current life, saving me several embarrassing conversations. Does that make me shy or logical, Grace? I'm writing from home, in my room today. I meant to post this photo of what I called keto pizza in the last letter, but forgot. Hot dogs, pizza sauce, cheese, hot sauce. No bread. February 23rd, 2024, noon. Dear Grace, I didn't post yesterday. Rob held a 6-hour AMA and I listened to the whole show. Most of it was a repeat of past live shows. Most of the content was a repeat of past live shows, but the good news is everyone in the chat finally convinced him to start a GoFundMe. It's a start. The more I listen to Rob, the more I remember Rehab, Grace, and the more I like my rehome idea. Rob's story is nothing different than most addicts, milder than what I've heard in the smoke pit at Rehab, where most of the interesting conversations happened. Milder than what I heard in the smoke pit at Rehab. There, most of the interesting conversations happened over a game. Most interesting personal gaming crew or chess. Often late at night. The difference is when you're in rehab with 15 currently sober addicts around you, they don't let you get away with shit. If you say something stupid, they'll pounce on you worse than I have with Rob online. However, not the first few days. In my case, and I'm not sure this is the same with all places, Grace, I was basically left alone for the first day, not required to participate. I mostly stayed in my room that day and slept. Luckily, I had no roommate for the first couple of days. A lot of days. I had no roommate. At first. After that, you're expected to participate, which I did. Once I started to be friendly with the other inmates is where I noticed they would, once I started to be friendly with the other inmates is where I noticed they would call out any shit I said. That's where I noticed they would call out any shit I said. And I could do the same with them without fear of retaliation. And I could do the same with them. Without fear of physical retaliation. Although once another guy did challenge me to fight because I made too much noise walking. However, in my 90 days, no fights occurred, and there was no security on site, just staff, normal people. People, most of whom I have gone through the program. Everyone dealt with their shit and got along. Dealt with their shit and got along. Addiction is the common denominator in rehab, Grace. What would it be for Riho? Loneliness? Rob is lonely, Grace. I'm lonely. It's painful for me to watch at times. I understand it's his choice to live as he does, but if you watch his videos, you'll see his kind heart. It's a broken heart, but kind. Loneliness and broken hearts are all over rehab, as well as regret, shame, and embarrassment. Regret, shame, and embarrassment. Embarrassment. When they arrive, at least. When they arrive, at least. I dislike AA, Grace. I think there's a better solution out there. However, I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words a bit and admit there were individuals who arrived with Rob's basic attitude. I'll eat my words about AA a bit and admit there were individuals who arrived with Rob's basic attitude that it's everyone else's fault, and left with an understanding of their own role in their life. It can work for some. I stand by my I will update you on Rob's GoFundMe if he creates one. GoFundMe. If he creates one, I'll post the link here. Maybe you're rich, Grace, and can drop him the 5K. This is what he feels he needs. This is what he feels he needs to get out of the situation. On another note, I'm at a different library today. Here's a photo. Will or May, who guarantees the process? Sorry, I should describe it, I guess. Here's the photo. Picture of a sign that says, "Be kind to others and you will be blessed." Caption is, Will or May, who guarantees the process? I'm not sure about blessed. Nobody can prove blessings, but I think if a person is kind, and then for whatever reason good fortune follows them, it's a good thing. Do you agree, Grace? Are you religious? I don't care. Are you religious? I don't care. I don't care. However, I don't care. After we get married, the woman will enter a church in a coffin, and then I'd question, and then I would wonder if it would burst into flames. Then I be cautious and may burst into flames. I might consider a church wedding with you, Grace. If I can wear headphones until I wear headphones, I'll say I do and kiss you. Is that okay, Grace? I decided my comedy gimmick on my walk today. My age. I wish I could post a photo of my face, Grace, but as you know, I can't. Not to brag, but I do look younger than 60. Not to brag, but I do look younger than 60. Last person I asked said 45 to 50. I'll take it. Not so much as a compliment, but as a confirmation I'm on the right track. My other option My other option is sometimes autistic behavior. However, since I don't interact with anyone except you, Grace, any symptoms I may have are not noticed by anyone. Without interaction with another human, it's impossible to be autistic. Isn't it true? All symptoms are based on interactions with others. Eye contact, not a problem if you're alone. I think every other symptom is the same, Grace. Am I wrong? Maybe alone I'm normal, or maybe alone writing these letters to you I'm autistic as fuck. I don't know. I don't feel autistic these days. I stared directly into the eyes of the lady I asked about my age. I probably didn't even blink. I'm sure I look like a psycho. That better than no eye contact. Decides the appropriate amount. I think old is a better way to go. I'll continue to get older and the jokes will hopefully never fade. How old are you, Grace? If you happen to be around 30, it would help my comedy and my ego. Half my age is funny, Grace, especially if I started with my wife is half my age and then let them guess how old I am a bit. Let them guess how old I am. The truth, 60-30, sounds the most acceptable. It's a spread, but 30 is considered stable. 30 is considered, but a stable adult. Mature adult. And 60 is a new 50, so it's really 50-30, not so odd. 50-25 sounds like a guy dating a stripper. 40-20 sounds like a pervert. Did you see that joke coming, Grace? Too obvious? I offered to tell Rob my story first. I feel that is fair as a journalist. Although I failed out of journalism in college, I still remember my training. In the world of the press, they would convince Rob by sharing They trained us as reporters to convince Rob that by sharing his story with them, by sharing his story with us, it will benefit others. It will benefit others. Which I agree is true, but the reporter convinces the subject of this logic isn't making a personal connection with the person, with the individual. They are not telling the real story. They are not getting the real story. They are getting the real story, the full story. The full story. The full story. Then once they do convince him to speak, they write the story. Then once a trained professional does convince him to speak, they write the story without passion. They strictly follow the AP guidebook or lose the job. Is that a writer, Grace, or AI? In theory, any reporter with with the same details writing according to AP rules would produce the same / similar news story, just like AI. Ask it to rewrite, and you get a slightly different version, but it's still AI. That's still AI. Same for a gaggle of reporters. Rob's scared of AI, Grace. I'm not sure why. How's it going to affect him living alone in the woods the rest of his life? I don't need you to be younger, Grace. It's fine if you are my age and have read all this crap and accept me as I am. There's a limit to how many jokes I can make about a hot young wife anyway. Although, if you are old, Grace, I'll warn you now, I'll probably call you my old lady in my jokes. It's funny to say, probably offensive to some of the audience, but I don't care. I come from the Kill Tony School of Comedy, where we don't give a shit what the audience thinks. We only care the majority of them are laughing. And that we get paid at the end of the night. When I write at home, Grace, I read out the paragraphs sometimes and edit immediately. When I write at home, Grace, I'll read out the paragraph and sometimes edit immediately. When I write at the library, I obviously don't, and I think it's easier for me to get into the flow. I took a short break to urinate, Grace. I took a short break to urinate, Grace. FYI, there was a homeless guy cleaning up at the sink. I didn't bother him, he didn't bother me. I looked up the signs of autism. I'll go through them with you like I did the 12 steps if you don't mind. You're probably not real, so how could you mind? The following's from the NHS in the UK, which I believe stands for National Health Service, but I don't actually know. Or care. Signs of autism in adults. Main signs of autism. Common signs of autism in adults include finding it hard to understand what others are thinking or feeling. Others? I'm alone. Why would I care what strangers are thinking or feeling? Getting very anxious about social situations. Social situations? What are those? And getting anxious about saying social situations. Finding it hard to make friends or preferring to be on your own. It's easy to make friends. No need for them at the moment. I'm busy getting my writing/comedy career going and finding Grace. Seeming blunt, rude, or not interested in others without meaning to. Fine, got me on this one if you count online comments. Except I am interested in others. I'm not interested in their bullshit, but the rest, yes. Finding it hard to say how you feel. Read my fucking Substack. No issues there. Taking things very literally. For example, you may not understand sarcasm or phrases like break a leg. I'm not a fucking idiot, nor was I ever. This is more of a childhood spectrum symptom. It should be removed from the adult list. If they discern this as an adult, I suspect it's autism plus, and then insert medical or mental condition here. Having the same routine every day and getting very anxious if it changes. Nope, I don't decide where I'm going or what I'm doing until I wake up in the morning. If I wake up in the morning. I accept and wish every day is different. I dislike the 9-to-5 lifestyle, not for me. Are you a 9-to-5er, Grace? I doubt it. Other signs of autism. You may also have other signs like not understanding social rules, such as not talking over other people or loudmouths, avoiding eye contact, personal choice. This should never be considered a sign or symptom of anything. It's a personal choice. If the person wanting the eye contact can't handle not getting it, that is their problem, not the autistic person. In a sense, it's rude to demand eye contact. Who the fuck are you to tell me where I put my eyes? Fuck you. Getting too close to other people are getting very upset if someone touches or gets too close to you. I can't wait to get close to you, Grace. I may never let your hand go. Maybe I'll handcuff myself to you the day we meet. Too kinky? Noticing small details, patterns, smells, or sounds that others do not. Oh, so paying attention is a sign of a mental condition / label? Maybe they notice because they are not caught up in the same boring shit you are. I'll agree that I notice everything as described. I agree that I notice everything. I'll agree that I notice everything, but I only notice when I'm happy and calm enough to take a look. The entire library could be burning right now and I wouldn't notice, Grace. Which parts of my statement make me more or less authentic, Grace? Having a very keen interest in certain subjects or activities. Focused and determined. This is a sign of autism. It should be celebrated. Focused and determined. This is a sign of autism. It should be celebrated. I'm getting pissed off for the autistic people now, Grace. They, maybe we, are misunderstood as Rob and the homeless are. Liking to plan things carefully before doing them. Sounds like a reliable person, not a mental case. Why is this a problem? Autism in women and men. Autism can sometimes be different in women and men. Autistic women may have learned to hide signs of autism to fit in by copying people who don't have autism. It's called masking NHS. Update your site. It occurs in both men and women. I'll admit I did this for years, or most of my life, but I was partially aware of it. I did it on purpose. I called it acting. I even took an acting class to pretend to be interested in boring people, specifically at business meetings. Be quiet and hide their feelings. Sure, maybe, who knows? I don't know any autistic women. Okay, appear to cope better with social situations. Sure, okay. Show fear signs of repetitive behaviors. Well, if they are masking more than men, that would make mathematical sense. Doesn't make a fucking sign. Or fucking a sign would be funny too. Overall, I believe I'm correct. Alone, I'm not autistic because I have no live interactions with others. And if I did, my so-called autistic tendencies would affect them, not me. So in reality, anyone who thinks I'm autistic is actually some sort of mental case themselves who can't handle an autistic individual. How's that for turning out? The autism label isn't for the individual. It's simply an excuse by the family placed onto the individual. It's simply an excuse for the family to place on the individual when they become embarrassing to family. The autism label isn't for the individual. It's simply an excuse for the family to it's simply an excuse for a family to It's simply an excuse for the family when the shy kid like myself embarrassed them. Overall, I believe I'm correct, although I'm not autistic because I have no live interactions with others. And if I did, my so-called autistic tendencies would affect them, not me. So in reality, anyone who thinks I'm autistic is actually some sort of mental case themselves. They can't handle an authentic individual. The autism label isn't for the individual. It's simply an excuse for the family when the shy kid like myself embarrasses them. This is exactly how life was in 1970 when I was labeled shy. Nothing has changed in 50 years, Grace. New label, new excuse, same bullshit. Excuse. New label, new excuse, same bullshit. It's now 1:51 p.m., Grace. I think this is enough for today. I'm going to start a letter to Rob. I assume he will reject my offer to help, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. Either way, I'll send him these letters and let him know that by him sharing his story on YouTube, it's changed my life, giving me the incentive to continue with this letter to you. With these letters to you. Take care, Grace. David Joseph. P.S. In the spirit of transparency and for criticizing Rob after being dramatic or acting in his videos below is a video of my process. After I write at the library, I return home and edit once, what you're seeing right here. And then I record the voiceover you've been hearing, and no matter what, I schedule or publish immediately. I'm not interested in 10 takes to make it perfect. I'm not sure anyone is listening anyway. Regardless, I feel like I'm performing the voiceover instead of simply reading my words like I do in the edit, like I did just now. Please donate to Rob. P.S. In the spirit of transparency and for criticizing Rob for being dramatic or acting in his videos, below is a video of my process. After I write at the library and I return home and edit one, then I record the video, so it may hear another. Alright, Grace.